Nobody else will get saved. When it is the end, only the people of God will live.
All right, buenos dias, mis amigos. All right, this is effectively part 2 in regards to Mike Hoggart's Going to the Moon Bible Prophecy video from April 1st. Okay. 2 days ago. So, one of the reasons, he's got a lot of interesting stuff here, and he's really battling it out with people that don't believe we went to the moon. Okay. I mean, oh goodness gracious. He's on the wrong side of this thing, but it's an interesting subject, and I want to get into it. I do. Absolutely do. Before I touch on his video, because I'm afraid if I hit play, I have no idea where I'm going to go. So I want to make a couple of quick points before I do that. Okay. So here is an image of this space machine, whatever they call it, Artemis 2. Okay. I've shown this before a long time ago. It's odd that they don't go straight up. They go out and then flatline. It's because it's a dead mission. Okay. All right. Just consider this. All right. So if you want to go like from point A to point B, okay, the quickest way is a straight line. Okay. All right. So that I think everybody understands that. Now this is not a straight line. If they're going to the moon, let's see, how do we do this here? How do we do this? I just want to show an example. All right. Let's do it this way. So, okay, we got the Earth. We got this ball Earth. Okay? So, let's say where my arrow is where the moon is. Alright? Let's say it's straight above. This would be your shortest point. Your shortest route to the moon would be from here to there. Okay? I feel dumb for even trying to explain this. And I saw somebody, I don't know if it was on this one, somebody commented about how, I don't remember what they said, but they marveled about how they were able to coordinate their path so that they will go to a certain place in outer space. The moon won't be there when they take off, but the moon will be there when they get there, right? So they take off, the moon's down here, they're going this way, and then by the time the moon gets up there, they're there. They meet the moon in outer space. Okay. All right. So here's the thing, though. Why are they doing this? Why don't they just go straight up and get the shortest point? You know, they're traveling a lot further than what would be necessary. That don't matter. They're faking the whole thing. That's not something that they're even going to address. And if they did address it, they'd just be a bunch of nonsense. But I just want to bring that point up. They don't go the shortest route. Straight up. They could time this sucker where they're going to go straight up, and meet the moon at its closest point. Okay, alright, okay. The whole thing is stupid, isn't it? Yeah, it really is. But I just wanted to... That's not what they do, man. They're like going the long way. They're going... What are they doing? I have no idea what they're doing. It doesn't matter because they can do whatever they want. And people are going to believe it. Of course, you could say, well, it wouldn't matter what they do. People that don't want to believe it aren't going to believe it. And that's fair. Absolutely fair. Okay. Okay, so then the other point that I wanted to make, okay, is that these guys are trying to bust into heaven. Okay? And if we look at Genesis 11, how after the flood, they all gathered into one city. And they built a tower onto heaven. And there was nothing that was going to restrain them from doing what they imagined to do. So, God went down there and confounded their language. Alright, this is obvious, should be obvious, that God confounded the language to slow down the evilness of man, the wickedness of man. I'm not going to stop it, because men are inherently, the heart of man is evil. The heart of man is desperately wicked. Right? The heart of man, forgive me for, I don't want to mess this up. The heart is deceitful above all things, and desperately wicked. Who can know it? Right? So there's a problem with man's heart. That's why this world's coming to an end, is because we're leading up to a point where nobody on earth believes God. Okay. So these guys, I mean, just like Genesis 11, they built a tower. Just like the proverb to the king of Babylon. Right? In Isaiah 14. In the proverb it says, excuse me, for thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend to heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the cloud. I will be like the Most High. Right? So these people think they can just bust their way, break into God's throne and be like God. They can go in there and take over the place. They can bust in and do whatever they want. Right? I mean, we see that in Genesis 11. We see this in the proverb in Isaiah 14. We see it in the world today happening. And remember, Jesus says that if anybody tried to get in any other way, the same as a robber, I think is how he described it. Verily I say unto you, he that enters not by the door of the shepherd, but climbs up some other way, the same as a thief and a robber. And of course, a thief and a robber is not going to inherit the kingdom of God. Right? But they think they're climbing up some other way. And that's because they're wicked. Remember in John 3, Jesus says, no man has ascended to heaven. And so the rocket scientist will come in and say, well, no, Jesus doesn't mean what he says. That's what they say. No, this doesn't mean what it says. Well, I actually disagree wholeheartedly. I think Jesus means exactly what he says. You just have this worldview that heaven is not heaven, that heaven is outer space, fantasy land, fairy tale stuff. You're way off. Way off. Your worldview is way off. Jesus, when he died and rose from the dead and then ascended to heaven, he didn't ascend to outer space. You take what Jesus did and you make it out to be like a fairy tale, a fantasy. And then, on top of that, you claim men have actually ascended to heaven. And say, well, this is really real. Really, really, really real. No, it's not. That's not real. You guys are faking it. And you do err, not knowing the scriptures, nor the power of God. Well, it all makes sense when you realize this is how it's supposed to play out in the last days. You know, David, he didn't even fly to the moon. Oops. Oh. David didn't even fly. For David didn't fly to the moon. For David has not ascended into the heavens. Okay? Nobody. I mean, you got to look. Like I was talking about yesterday, man, it's time to grow up. It's time to put all these childish fairy tales of flying to the moon and the green little men from Mars flying around and all that fantasy land stuff, man. That's kid stuff. Consider when Jesus does come, and he could come today, come tomorrow, anytime. There ain't nothing stopping him. Only God knows. But when he comes, all the tribes of the earth will mourn. All the unsaved people will mourn. All kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. Men's hearts will be failing them for fear. The kings, the Bill Gates of the world, they're all going to say to the mountains and the rocks, fall on us and hide us from the face of him that sits on the throne, from the wrath of the Lamb. Consider Revelation 1. Behold, he comes with clouds, and every eye shall see him. Buddy, your worldview is going to get shaken to its core. And you know, what can I say now to wake you up, right? Nothing. It's on you. You're going to be without excuse. You're going to be shocked if you're buying into this moon stuff, man. Okay. So, again, these guys, they think they can just bust right into heaven where God is. and plant their flag. They think they can do whatever they imagine to do. Consider Gus Grissom. He was, I don't know what year this was. They're doing this thing, and they were trying to talk in between walls, and they couldn't talk. They couldn't communicate. The radio signals wouldn't go through the walls. And Gus was like, man, how? We can't even talk through walls, man. This whole thing stinks. And I'm sure there was a lot of problems, right? There is a lot of problems. Okay. So Gus Grissom, he put this lemon on a hanger because the whole rocket was a lemon. Just like my car is a lemon. That's not a good thing, right? And so he did this he was sending the message. This thing stinks, right? This thing is a lemon. This whole mission is a lemon. Right now, I want to show a video, just a few seconds, of law enforcement officers trying to break into a house. Now, if you know that you got these kind of people with this kind of power capable of breaking into people's houses, why don't you think that men of greater power would try to break into God's house in the heaven? All right, so let's check this out.
The Adams County Sheriff kicked down my door. Then I heard the glass break. They found no kidnapping victims, just some lemon pound cake. Mama's lemon pound cake. It tastes so nice. It made the sheriff wanna put down his gun and cut him a slice. Of what? Of what? Lemon pound cake. He wanna put down his Glock. Lemon pound cake. Trending on TikTok. Lemon pound cake. He's a family guy. Lemon pound cake. The munchies because he got hot. Lemon pound cake. Pound cake.
All right, so you saw the Afro man. He's got the Adams County Sheriff Department breaking into his house. Well, that's not uncommon, right? So also, do we have men of greater power trying to bust into heaven? And that really correlates, if that's the right word, with what we're reading here in Genesis 11. After the flood, after God destroyed this world by water, men gathered into one city. They all spoke one language. They built this tower whose top may reach unto heaven. And so there's nothing going to restrain them from doing what they imagine to do. So God put a stop to it, right? Spread them out, gave them multiple languages. and really slow down this process that is ultimately going to happen anyway. But I mean, there's a reason for everything. Okay, all right, okay. So hopefully I made that point. So let's get into Mike Hoggard. Okay. That's evil out there, fellas. There's a lot of evil out there. This is evil. I don't know, what are they doing? Shooting a bottle rocket up and dropping it in the ocean, and then phase 2 of this. I don't know. Okay. Let's go to Mike. He's more interesting.
Because they were worshiping the fertility goddess. How do you worship the fertility goddess? I'll let you go from there. But anyway, she's related to Diana of the book of Acts and so on. Anyway, getting back to the flat earth people.
There we go.
They say this is Satan's biggest, number one conspiracy. It's his whole cover-up right here, the biggest one ever.
Okay, so I don't know who says that, but it's a big deal. I'll go along with that, but let's not. Like, come on, let's not. Why do we have to label everything? All right, okay.
That is, Satan deceives everybody into believing that the world is round when Satan knows that it's flat. Satan knows it.
Wait, no. What? That's weird. Now you're getting weird, Mike. Okay, so this idea, well, Satan knows it. Well, that comes from an idea that Satan is a god. Satan is not a god. And this also comes from an idea that Satan is a person, like some boogeyman. Satan's not a person. Satan is a spirit that is void of God. It's not complicated. Now, one thing that's interesting here, we're at the 8:25 mark. Okay. I'm just curious. Just curious about something. Mike, you're saying that the Bible is all things Satan, right? The guidebook for all things Satan. So, and that's weird to say that. So what? The Bible's a guidebook on how to rape and kill children and how to eat them. And all things Satan. No, that's not. No. You know, what are we doing here? I don't. The Bible. I got a different opinion. Okay, the Bible is the Word of God. It's not a guidebook to all things Satan. Notice here, I'm getting nitpicky. I admit that. 1, 2, 3, 4 times. In an hour and 27, he mentions the name Jesus. Okay. I'm being too picky. I might even be a hypocrite. Maybe I don't say Jesus enough. That might be a fair argument. But I just, you're just going off on Satan, man. Satan this, Satan that, Satan everything else. Man, I think you're just overdoing it a little bit. You're talking more about Satan than you are Jesus. See, yikes, man. Oops. Come on, where are we at?
Deceives
Here we go.
to some of these so-called Christian flat earthers.
Well, to some of these so-called Christian ball earthers, come on, Mike.
To say Satan did it. Satan's covering it up. Okay.
You're saying, Satan did it. Satan did it. Satan's covering up, and then on the other hand, you're saying the Bible is all a guidebook to all things Satan. A little bit hypocritical, Mike.
And so my point is, if it is in the heart of Satan that this is his...
Satan don't have a heart. You big time dummy. Satan doesn't... There's not a boogeyman like a Bigfoot or a Loch Ness monster creature? What are we doing? The heart of Satan? Are you kidding me? Maybe I'm wrong. I'm getting too fired up. Let's see. The heart of Satan. Let's see. Uh-oh, I am wrong. Oh, no. Okay, that's not it. Okay. Why has Satan filled thine... Okay, so, no. Actually, it doesn't say... The Bible never says anything. Never implies that Satan has a heart. See, no. Satan is simply a spirit void of God. There's only one God. Duh. It's not Satan. What are we doing, Mike?
Of all the things in the world that Satan could have chose to corrupt, he chose the shape of the earth.
Well, it's the heart that's corrupt. So, you don't know that, Mike? If you're arguing against somebody specifically, then I get it. But you're not arguing against anybody specifically. You're arguing in everybody that says that we didn't go to the moon and the earth is not a ball. You're all saying that whatever he says. That's not a fair argument, okay?
Okay, anyway, you would expect to find it in the Bible. Somewhere. Well, I look in Isaiah 14. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer?
Well, hold on a second. He's saying, well, you'd expect it. You'd say you'd expect talking about, are you... Am I understanding what he said right? Satan could have chose to corrupt. He chose the shape of the earth. I don't know. Anyway, you would expect to find it in the Bible somewhere. That, what are you talking about, the shape of the earth? You mean like mountains and valleys? See, this ain't gonna work here. Let me do this, because this ain't rocket science. In this world, on the earth, we have mountains and valleys. Okay? And we ought to know, that the form of the earth, if you will, the mountains, the valleys, the plains, all that, come about because God flooded this world by water. And so it's the water that formed the earth that we're on right now. Now, we also ought to know that this world is going to burn. This earth is going to melt. There shouldn't be any doubt about that. Now, you know without a doubt that this world was destroyed by water, and now it's reserved unto fire against the day of judgment and perdition of ungodly men. This place is going to burn. It's going to melt. The earth is going to melt. And when the earth melts, every valley is going to be exalted. Every mountain and hill shall be made low. This place is going to be made flat. Now you want to say, oh, it's not flat right now. Yeah, I agree. It's bumpy. But it's going to be flat. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. And when the heavens pass away with a great noise, and the elements melt with fervent heat, and earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up, there goes your little UFO colonies flying around in outer space. Okay, your whole fantasy land is going to burn up. That's why I keep saying, man, it's time to grow up. It's time to take this stuff serious, because when it happens, man, game's up, game's over. Okay? You're exposed. And you're in trouble. You're going to be found naked and ashamed. And you're going to cry, mourn, weep. You're going to gnash your teeth. You're going to wail. You're going to suffer. So, right now is the time to embrace the truth. To put the truth above everything, even your own self, especially these little fantasy land fairy tales of going to the moon. Don't remember when Jesus is asked, what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? What's the very first thing? The very first thing right out of the chute. What's he say? Why does he say, take heed that no man deceive you? For many shall come in my name, saying that I, Jesus, am Christ, and shall deceive many. Mike, what are you doing? Well, nobody's deceiving nobody. This is all real. We can trust these guys that are in power because they say they got experts and scientists and smartest people in the world, and they know that we evolved from monkeys and that the earth is billions of years old. And we're going to the Mars. Mike, come on, man. They're all liars. All of them. That's hard to accept, man. There's this, there's a saying, it's easier to fool somebody than it is to convince them that they've been fooled. So true, man, so true. Okay. Alright, so this place is going to burn, Mike. These guys, you know, it's not just Gus Grissom for challenging the idea that they can send men to the moon. It's everybody that is not rescued by God is going to burn. Not just all the people, the whole earth. And the heavens are going to melt. The elements and the works. Man, this going to the moon stuff, this is like 1950s comic book stuff. Okay? It's time to grow up.
And of course, to the flat earther, the firmament above our heads is a hard dome shell.
Okay. All right, so I get it, Mike. I get what you're saying here. But now you got to be honest about this, don't you? You got to be honest about this. Okay, so in Job 37, verse 18, hast thou with him spread out the sky which is strong? And as a molten looking glass? What do you want to say, Mike? No, the sky is not strong. We can bust right through it, fly to the moon anytime we want. How about this, man? Get in your private plane and fly right to the moon.
That is impenetrable. But somehow, some way, Satan finds a way to fall from heaven.
See, there you go. You're imagining that Satan is some kind of space creature now? Or like a giant green monster from Mars? Mike, that's ridiculous. Satan is a spirit void of God. I don't know what world you live in that imagines Satan is a green monster from Mars. Am I in the right place? I don't know. Where am I at here? Probably. No, yeah, this is it. Remember? Jesus is talking to his disciples, and he's like, Whom do men say that I am? Or whom do men say that I, the Son of Man, am? The Son of Man being the servant of man. Whom do men say that I, the Son of Man, am? And they said, well, some say you're John the Baptist, and some Elijah, and Jeremiah, or one of the prophets. And then he says, okay, but who do you say that I am? Whom say ye that I am? And Peter answered and said, Thou art the Christ, the Son of the living God. And Jesus is like, bingo, you got it, kiddo. Well, I don't think he said that exactly, but no, he was right. Peter's exactly right. And so Jesus declares, that's the fact. That's the rock that I'm going to build my church on. The fact that I am the Christ, the Son of the living God. Jesus declared at that moment that he's going to build his church on that fact of what Peter said. Guarantee it. And that's so. He then tells these disciples that he's going to get captured. The bad guys they're going to come and get me, and then they're going to kill me. But on the third day, I'm going to rise from the grave. And Peter's like, no, I ain't going to let that happen. No. I'm not going to let those guys come and get you. I'm going to stop them. I'm going to punch them right in the beak. I'm going to stop them from getting you. And he didn't understand in that moment that what he was saying was in opposition to the Spirit of God, the Holy Ghost, and what must happen for Peter himself and for all of us. Okay. So from that time forth began Jesus to show unto his disciples how that he must go into Jerusalem and suffer many things of the elders and chief priests and scribes, and be killed, and be raised again the third day. And Peter, I'm not going to let that happen. Don't worry, Jesus, I'll take care of you. No. But notice, when Peter says, be it far from thee, Lord, that ain't going to happen. It ain't going to happen. I'm going to stop them guys. I'm going to get them. And then Jesus like, hey, buddy. He turned to Peter and said, get thee behind me, you giant green monster from Mars. No. When Jesus calls Peter Satan, he's not calling him a giant green monster from Mars. He's calling him a spirit that is void of God, in opposition to God. He's not calling him a god. He's not calling him a monster. Satan is a spirit void of God. It's not rocket science, okay? This is simple stuff. There's no reason to make this complicated at all. At all. Okay.
Down to the earth through the hard chocolate coating, okay? Through the shell.
Okay.
How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? You know what is something interesting about that phrase, son of the morning? And I'll let you find this. Do you know, according to the Bible, the morning has a womb. W-O-M-B, womb. Okay? You look that up and so on. And then maybe that kind of helps you understand the Bible knows what it's talking about.
Yeah, you lost me, Mike. Yeah, you lost me. I'll tell you that right now. Oh, I gotta do this. I mean, maybe it's because I'm dumb. Okay, I'm gonna leave room for that possibility because I am dumb. But I wish you kind of elaborate on that a little bit, Mike, because Psalm 110. The Lord said unto my Lord, sit thou at my right hand until I make thine enemies thy footstool. Okay, this directly corresponds with Genesis 3. When God said to the serpent, I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. It shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. Okay? So God is going to stomp his foot on the head of the serpent, destroying all evil forever. This is all the scripture is pointing to this moment in time when Jesus comes in the clouds of heaven and he sends his angels to gather together. His people were separated from this world. And then we crush evil forever, and then shall be brought to pass the saying that is written, death is swallowed up in victory. So all this stems from that moment in time when Adam and Eve ate from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, which they were forbidden to do. They ate from that tree, and then their eyes were open, knowing good and evil. So now we live in a world knowing good and evil, and that's evil. Because good and evil cannot coexist forever. So there must be an elimination of this evil. Okay. All right, so again, Psalm 110. The Lord said unto my Lord, sit thou at my right hand until I make thine enemies thy footstool. In Acts chapter 2, it's till I make thy foes thy footstool. 1 Corinthians 15, he must reign till he's put all enemies under his feet. And Revelation 3, behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet, and to know that I have loved thee. See, we're going to be lifted up, separated from this world. Now, there's a lot of other places too. In verse 2, Psalm 110, the Lord shall send the rod of thy strength out of Zion. Rule thou in the midst of thine enemies. Thy people shall be willing in the day of thy power, in the beauties of holiness. From the womb of the morning thou hast the dew of thy youth. Okay. The Lord has sworn and will not repent. Thou art a priest forever after the order of Melchizedek. Or whatever that word. I can't say it. See, English is not my strong suit, right? It's the only language I know, but it's still... Okay, let's go on. Well, I mean, hopefully people know that the... Here, I don't know if I gotta do this, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Nah, let me just... I want to move on here. Oh, goodness gracious. And he says also in another place, thou art a priest forever in the order of Melchizedek. Am I saying that right? Anyways, let's just go on. I'm not sure what that's because I'm dumb. I don't know what you're saying here, Mike. I don't know how to, agree or disagree with you on that. I'm not sure what you're saying.
Cut down the ground which didst weaken the nations. For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. Number 2.
Oh, wait a second. Okay, so, alright, I got you. He's making stuff up.
I will make everybody believe the earth is round. Wait a minute. It doesn't say that. It says, I will exalt my throne above
I will
the
make
stars.
everybody believe the earth is flat. They don't say that either, Mike. Come on, buddy. You got to be fair about this, don't you? Well, where am I at? Shouldn't you be fair and say they don't say this and it don't say that either? But what it does say, for thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. It does not say that they will ascend into heaven. Only that in their heart they will ascend to heaven, because there would be a serious problem if it did say they're going to ascend to heaven. They're going to fly to the moon. Yabba dabba doo. That would be a problem. Specifically because Jesus says, no man. See that right there? If you look up those words in the Japanese, well, that means no man. No man. No astronaut. No man. Okay, it's not hard. It's not rocket science, Mike. Okay. So, in Isaiah 14, they don't ascend to heaven. They don't fly to the moon, Jack or Mike or whatever your name is. They're only in their heart. See, this is all imagination. This whole moon stuff. It's Fantasyland stuff. It's Hollywood. What's that song by the fruitcake or the Red Hot Chili Peppers? Give me a second. My brain's a little bit slower than normal people. Made in a Hollywood basement. What? I can't remember what he says. Space is the final frontier, but it's made in a Hollywood basement. Californication. I mean, why don't you take a dig at those guys, Mike? At least you'd be specifically calling somebody out instead of generally labeling everybody that disagrees with you.
Stars of God. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north, and that is where Mount Zion is. That's in the book of Psalms.
Oh.
I will ascend above the
okay. Mount Zion. Okay, that's in heaven. Okay. I got to be clear about that.
heights of the clouds, and the flat earthers believe that at the heights of the clouds is where the hard shell concrete dome over the earth is. Okay, that's where they say when you get to where the clouds are.
Okay, good job, Mike. You're doing a good job so far. Okay, let's go. If I was prepared, I'd just boom be up. But I have to do it this way because I want somebody to put eyes on it. All right, you want to.
Randy Feenstra worked with Trump to secure the border. Iowans over illegals. Randy Feenstra for governor.
What is this? Oh,
What's
there we
that?
go.
It's compounded
Hey, let's
hogwash.
watch some
That new
commercials.
weight loss meds ain't FDA approved.
Smells.
Oh, okay. Hold on a second. Here we go. See, this is a great idea, right? Let's fly this machine, the space machine, up. So they got double wide, and it's carrying this other space machine, right? And so they're going to go up as high as they can, and then they're going to let go of this rocket, really. And this rocket is going to turn on its booster and try to bust its way, just slam through the door, right? It's going to break that door down. Just like these men.
The Adams County Sheriff kicked down my door.
Right there. Same thing, man. Same thing, isn't it? Except this is God's door that they're trying to break through. And boom. Shut off. Denied. Denied. They can't do it. Mike, just because these guys can break down Afro Man's door, don't mean NASA can break down God's door.
Then I heard the glass break.
Right? They try though, didn't they? They try. They try. This is they do the same thing now. Now you could say, well, back then they weren't going to the moon, right? They're just flying in outer space, looking for little green men. So there's no reason to go straight up, right? Now they got a reason to go straight up because they want to take the shortest path possible, don't they? To go to the moon? Why are they going the long way around about it? Because they're not. They're not going. It's the same thing. Okay. There we go. Yeah. Look. Back in 2013, this was groundbreaking stuff. Earth-shattering stuff. Today, there's a lot more challenging the official narrative 12 years later. 12 years ago, this was earth-shaking stuff. And nothing's changed, man. Nothing has changed. People are, whatever you got about Google, they're still going. No matter what you say, they're still going to the moon. There's still green little men flying around. They don't matter, right? Their skin is going to be melting as they stand. And they're still going to be denying the truth. Okay?
You're going to hit that shell. Okay? I will be like the Most High. But Isaiah goes on to say in verse 15, yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. Now, you can say, well, Pastor Mike, that didn't prove nothing. As far as what it does is...
Well, I could say, Pastor Mike, but you're not my pastor. Jesus is my pastor. Why are you... That just bothers me. I shouldn't even say nothing. I get it. I should just keep my mouth shut. But it's hard. You're not my pastor. The Lord is my shepherd. And Jesus, my Lord, says, call no man master. Call no man father. I'm not. He that exalts himself shall be abased. Why would you exalt yourself? Why? I mean, I could call myself Pastor Jimmy. Well, people say to me all the time, "Hey, Pastor Jimmy, how's come yabba dabba do?" No, I mean, I can't do it, man. In good conscience, I cannot call myself Pastor Jimmy. Well, I got a piece of paper that says I'm officially, I don't know what it is. It's ridiculous. I'm ordained by God above. I don't care if any man makes it official. I don't care if that legal part of it. That's not going to save anybody. Okay. I gotta. What was I gonna? I lost my train of thought here. What are we doing, Mike? Is that all I was gonna do? Is show? He that exalts himself shall be abased, and he that humbles himself shall be exalted. Probably. I'm not sure.
It tells you exactly what is in Lucifer's heart. Exactly what he's aiming at.
The moon.
What he's going for.
Right. And that's what they're doing in the world today, dummy.
And let's just say that maybe I'm going to play devil's advocate here.
Okay, dummy.
Let's just say that I accept this idea that the devil's trying to cover this up. Okay?
Cover it up, man. No. It's not a cover up, dummy. Mike, let's go to John chapter 6. This ain't a cover up, dummy. I mean, you ought to know this. Really. You went to Bible college, didn't you? You got a master's in BS, don't you? You call yourself pastor. Oh, no, I'm sorry. See, here's how dumb I am. And when I start to get scattered like this, it's time to quit and go find some food to eat. But I got to do this, man. Where am I at? I got to do this to finish that thought. The Lord is my shepherd. The Lord, and it's not my cogger. So I'm not calling him pastor. I'm not calling him shepherd. I'm not calling him master. I call him Mike. I'm not exalting him over myself. I'm not exalting him over anybody else. Okay? But that's what you would call somebody doctor, call him master, call him pastor, call him reverend, call him father. None of that's no good. That's no good. Baby. Oh my goodness. That's no good either. All that stuff. Okay, so let's go back.
Why?
Oh, now I gotta go back to the other thought. In John 8, remember, the Jubies are having a conversation with Jesus, and they're claiming, "Well, we're from Abraham's our father, and we be born not of fornication. We have one Father, even God." Jesus said unto them, "If God were your Father, ye would love me. For I proceed forth from and came from God. Neither came I of myself, but he sent me." And he's practically nose to nose with these fellers. And they can't hear a word he's saying. It's like me when I was a little kid. Kind of like Mike Hoggart when you tell him that nobody went to the moon. Practically nose to nose with these fellers. He says, "Why do ye not understand my speech, even because ye cannot hear my words?" Right? Remember, and I think it's Isaiah 6, I believe. "Make the heart of this people fat and make their ears heavy, and shut their eyes, lest they see with their eyes and hear with their ears and understand with their heart and convert and be healed. Right? And so we read this numerous times in the New Testament as well. And when Jesus quotes it, when he says it, he says, he changes just a slight little bit, and he says, and should understand with her heart and should be converted, and I should heal them. And I should heal them. Right? And I should heal them. Okay, so pretty cool. Right? Now, this is a spiritual phenomenon. Now, we saw this with Pharaoh in the book of Exodus when God hardened his heart. Right? It's no different today. Right? No different today. And God has blinded the minds of them that don't believe. Right? He's hardened their heart. And so even unto this day, when Moses is read, the veil is upon their heart. Right? Nevertheless, when it shall turn to the Lord. Oh, hold on a second. Oh, okay. Yikes. Oh my goodness. There we go. Even unto this day, when Moses is read, the veil is upon their heart. Nevertheless, when it shall turn to the Lord, the veil shall be taken away. See, when you don't believe God, you're not going to understand the Word of God. You could read it all day long. You could read it with the smartest people in the world. You sit around the table and read it all day. You're not going to understand nothing. Just like in John 8, when Jesus is talking to those Jews because they rejected him, their heart was hardened. They didn't understand what he was saying. The same thing in Luke 16. When we read about the rich feller and the beggar. And the rich feller's like, man, you got to send these guys and tell my brother. And the rich feller, he's like, yeah, if you send one of these dead people and tell my brothers, they're going to repent. And Abraham's like, if they don't hear Moses and the prophets, neither will they be persuaded, though one rose from the dead. And Jesus, of course, he's the risen one. These people won't listen to Moses and the prophets, and they ain't going to be persuaded by Jesus. There's no hope for them. They are incorrigible. You don't want to be on that side.
Why would he?
I don't know why. So I got to finish my point again. So in John 8, these guys, they can't hear. Even though he's nose to nose talking with them, right? And Jesus plainly says to them, ye are of your father, the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. He was a murderer, okay? A murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaks a lie, he speaks of his own, for he's a liar and the father of it. It's not a cover-up. If your point is, well, these guys know the truth, but they're lying, I can't go along with you, because they don't know the truth at all. I mean, you can look, something you could theorize. Hey, these guys that are in charge of NASA, they know that they can't go to the moon. That's all they know. And they might know that they can't go to outer space and take a picture of a ball of Earth. They might know that, but they don't know the truth. They're just making everything up. Yeah, I mean, you can't say they know the Earth is a ball, or you can't say they know Earth is flat. You can't say that. They don't know the truth. They are liars. They're delusional. They don't know the truth. Okay, so I'll go along with you if you're saying, well, these people say the people in charge know the truth and they're just lying to us. Well, they're liars, yes, but they don't know the truth. No. They don't abide in the truth at all. There's no truth in them at all. The devil, the spirit that is void of God, is their father. Okay. Hopefully I made that point. Hopefully. The people that don't believe God, they're in trouble. Trouble. Okay, so let's go.
Woody. I mean, okay, let's just pretend in our little fantasy world.
Ouch. Boy, why are you so mean, Mike? You goo.
You know, we're gonna slide over to a different universe because of the Mandela effect, and we're gonna live in this universe.
What, Mandela? What's Nelson Mandela got to do with any of this?
Where the planet Earth is flat. Okay.
Planet Earth. Earth is not a planet, dummy. I mean, come on, man. Let me take a deep breath here. The Earth is not a planet. This whole fantasy land of outer space and planets, hey, Mike, you can't even grasp it. You're so invested in your worldview. You can't think outside the box at all, man. That's your trouble. Narrow-minded. In the bad way. In a very, very bad way. I mean, the idea that the people with all the money and all the power, the idea that they're lying? No, they wouldn't lie to us, man. You know, December 25th, man, I saw with my own eyes Santa Claus. He came to my house. We got Easter bunnies laying eggs this coming weekend. I'm going to see them eggs. That's proof. That's proof. Rabbits can lay eggs. I'm going to go out. I'm going to find these eggs out in the yard. That proves there's an Easter bunny. I'm going to watch on television. I'm going to see these people flying into outer space. It proves it. Yeah. Well, I know, man. I know. It's all fantasy land stuff, man. Well, you're just going to believe whatever they say, aren't you, Mike? I mean, come on. Okay, the cat's telling me to shut it down. He's right. I might talk more about this tomorrow, though. I want to learn more about this. What's Nelson Mandela got to do with any of this? Not sure what he's saying there. So, God willing, I'll talk more about this tomorrow. We'll see.